What are some challenges that you want to talk about that you face when you raise your kids?
See, I think one of the challenges, especially in this day and age, your children are exposed to so much information when they're not in your care. And it's really important as a parent to kind of monitor all that. For me, it's encouraging because my daughter's in daycare and she comes home and she'll say something or use a word that I know she didn't learn from us. And it's always a good thing so far. It's been a good word.
It won't always be.
But it won't always, exactly. And that's the key thing. It won't always be something good.
But how do you control that though? I mean, it's almost like you're trying to say you can't get sick. I don't want you to get sick.
It goes back to the thing
sick is a good thing for the immune system.
It goes back to the thing I was saying, the first question that you asked me about time is that when you do hear that, you have to take the time out to explain to your child what that means. I think trying to filter your children and shelter them from things is not the right way to go about it.
I mean, I'm almost 37, so growing up,
me too.
I'm just saying this because it's very, like, you guys have one kid and you just starting out, so everything is very cocoonish right now.
The babies, everything's so nice and easy.
As a father of a 17-year-old and now, you know, of a 4-year-old, like, I mean, we have so much access to information now.
All right, a reader posed the question, how is it that some fathers are able to go through life ignoring their own children as if they don't exist?
My daughter, things have been very rocky to say the least, and I have gone to court for custody of my daughter. So when you have an instance like that, I can definitely see a lesser-willed man giving up, because the process to maintain social or judicial involvement with your kid is totally stacked against men in this situation.
I do know the other side of the man who's not willing to fight for it, where, you know, the mother has to beg and plead to get him to do the bare minimum. You know what I mean? And I still can't explain that for him, but I can see, well, obviously I am the ramification of that. Right. You know what I mean? So I always approach, and I don't want that to be the entire basis of how I base my fatherhood from, but on the same token, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, I don't ever want my son to view me the way I viewed him.
What would you like to do differently than your father?
Well, I can't even answer. I don't know.
No,
I mean, without growing up, like I said, without a father, being there has been that's been a goal, you know. Like, I would definitely love to have been married and forever, like Jeff, and raising my kids in the same household and all the other things. But when circumstances don't allow that to happen, being there is the one thing that I would do differently than my dad. When your kid is asking you about some questions and you don't have anything to reflect on, that's a very hurtful thing to go through in life. And it's very difficult because but it's a proud thing going forward, because now my son will now be able to say, this is what my dad told me to my kids.
Right. The other thing that I would say is, don't necessarily let your relationship with the mother dictate your relationship with your child. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily saying that anything's wrong with me and my fiance. They aren't. They're they're good. But she knows that regardless of if our relationship continued or not, I will be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's not the same fight that I've seen previously.
I would say, and I'd say, you know, my father is my best friend, and the older I get, the wiser he gets, but we haven't always had the best relationship. And we went through a very rocky time when I was in high school, and a lot of it goes back to trying to make your child fit to an ideal or a mindset that you have of what you think you want a person to do or how you think they should be. My family in general is very conservative, and I'm very much not. So the one thing I would do differently is at a very early age, kind of like you said, I want to teach my child the basic lessons of morality and the right way to treat people. But beyond that, I want to encourage them to learn and explore new things. I want to just resent any source of resentment that my child may have for me and forcing them to do something that they didn't want to do.